Okay, had a few fun projects for a miserable gray winter's day. It's still spitting snow outside. First, I just want to show the Diefenbachje. Getting ready. Oh, there we go. Fireworks are beginning. And I found a few things out about the moss poles. The tubes, rather. These are really actually vacuum tubes. Not vacuum tubes like the old radio vacuum tubes. These are tubes for vacuuming. There we go, vacuuming tubes. A plastic cup will fit right in, and you can jam it in and it'll seat itself tight. And then if you cut it right along there, you end up essentially with a nice little plug that can be siliconed in and sealed shut and watertight. So I ran out of silicone yesterday doing that. But for the time being, I just slapped a coupler, because the coupler has a little ridge going all the way around right there. And that little ridge right now is keeping that plug from moving outwards at all. And it's actually supporting, I've got about a ½ inch of water in there. It was 3/4 of an inch earlier on, and no leaks. So, you know, this isn't pressure or anything like that. But I don't want to leave it unsiliconed. And once it is unsiliconed, what I'm going to do is fully remove the coupler and put a little silicone bumper, just a dab of glue on the back, so it won't be flush on the wall at the bottom, so it won't scrape, you know, when I accidentally knock into it and swing it side to side like that, you know, which I'm sure will happen. But yeah, nice elegant solution and super cheap. So the silicone will be getting here later on today, and I've still got some plastic cups lying around. I'll have to order a few more, but no biggie, you know, it's a bag of 100. So incredibly cheaper than doing this with couplers or looking for end caps, which average also about anywhere from $9 to $13 a pop. You know, a plastic cup cost me, I think, a nickel. So, or 9 cents. I think I once worked it out to 9 cents per cup. So, that's that. And what I'm going to do with this one here is I'm going to take this assembly off, just cut it, razor blade will go right through that silicone, so will a sharp pair of scissors, and clean off all the silicone on the outside surface of this moss tube, and this is going to go as the extension for the adensonii, which is nearly fully recovered and now starting to crank out like gangbusters. That is going to get transferred onto here, and once it roots in at the bottom, it gets snipped, and I will have some of that growing with this on there. And now you can see what two poles look like. And I'm going to again carry over that adensonii on the bottom over to the poles on the right, and concurrently we're working on the pothos, which I'll probably also going to slap that onto the wall. I just ordered a large black flat bed sheet to use as the next tapestry moving forward. So this whole corner is going to be dark, and then the plants floating off of the wall like so are just going to pop out onto your eyeballs. I've seen what plants look against black. It's the same thing that happens with fish. They just jump out at your eyeballs. And we'll get this little corner looking a lot nicer and going full speed ahead, I hope. So that's that. I found a really elegant solution that was in my face, but unseen, as most elegant solutions usually are. And I got these two guys potted in. This was one of my spares that I had in the spider plant and pothos factory room. It was an insurance policy, Just growing in a little 4-inch, 5-inch pot. And in fact, I don't have the pot here. The pot now holds a spider plant. There we go. And this is, again, that cutting from the adensonii, the third of 4 that I pulled out of the main room to redo. It's that cluster one that I made a video of yesterday. The one with the one stem on the right, the double stem in the center, and the one stem on the left. The 2 side stems came from the same plant that gave this. So that's how we're progressing. And if I manage to not pull a brain fart in January, everything will get dosed again with bonide. And I'm still hitting things now, things I hit too lightly, because I only had so much bonide, you know, before I went and ordered the new stuff. And we'll see how that continues. But by doing this, I'm also going to end up using a lot less bonide. Lot less everything, actually, because it's, you know, this small container. A teaspoon of bonide midway up the stem, you know, in January, will probably, I'll do 2 teaspoons, or maybe even a tablespoon. But the dosage rate for an 8-inch, 1-gallon pot is, I think, 2 to 4 tablespoons per dose. And that's a lot of material to use. This affords me the opportunity to see if I can really get away with using less. And remember, the pot is nothing more or less than a base to hold the plant and the moss pole. Most of the watering I do via the moss pole. You know, that's where the fertilizer goes in, that's where the water goes in, and that's where I would say more than half of the roots are. When I grow them, and I've been looking at, you know, the root masses in the pots. They're not fully into the pots, even though they're well into the pole. The plant seems to really prefer the sphagnum as a rooting medium once they hit it. I could cut this adensonii right now at the base, or even up the base, right to maybe 2 or 3 inches below the leaves, and it would just keep on, it wouldn't bat an eye, you know, and then the bottom would just start to point out and start growing, you know, all over again. What I'll probably do with this, once I get it to transfer over, and I might even try to train it over, I might just pop off this base and then take this pole and slide it over so the 2 poles are touching, and then tape up those holes and try to like tease and train the Monstera over. But we'll see. It still has a good short ways to go yet. It's rooted in down, all the way down here, right there. So you've got all that. It's got to hit at least the top hole before I'll start with leaves and petioles, before I start deciding exactly how I want to do it. Just slapping a coupler and then sticking that in the coupler on top of that is really the simplest and easiest way to go, and it's probably what I'll end up doing. I'm looking forward to doing the neon pothos. It might get done before the gigas. It's hard to say. Right now it's the gigas and this neon pothos are neck and neck for trying out the coupling transfer. Direct, you know, tube to tube. And then we'll see what this guy does in 3rd place. So that's it, and I'll just show real quick how messy I get. This is a plant workroom, folks, with plant work in progress. I'm really happy with that humidifier, by the way. That Dreo. It's a Dreo, I think, 6-liter top fill. I'm really happy with it. I like it better than the Lavoie. But I'm going to be doing a recommendation. It's here to replace that Seajoy or Sejoy or Seajoy or Sejoy. Gigas! But that Sejoy is a piece of garbage. The humidistat it comes with, this big sensor, is useless. But that's another video. I'm going to reviewing the 4 different brands I have, and which in my opinion absolutely suck, which kinda suck, and which are really have just been great since day one and a breeze to use and maintain. That's coming up probably in the next video. But there we go, still with a messy floor and everything discombobulated all over the place. There's the old sphagnum I've been accumulating in a bag. That's going to get cleaned out from roots and probably either boiled or rinsed with hydrogen peroxide. And there are more moss poles. And here I'm just playing around with methods for dosing the bonide. There was actually a little tube that I have acting as a spacer for to keep a void. I created at one hole right there, and then a little further up I just took some of the sphagnum out. And that's it, all the clutter. I'll show you everything. The dirty floor. There we go. I won't show you the other wall, but that's a messy plant room. And I'm going to be working here for the next few days, so it's going to be looking like this for I want to say probably through till close to the end of the week. But once it's done, and the wall is blacked out with the new cloth, and everything is begins to get mounted and filling in, I think it's going to look pretty neat. So that's that.